right here, said sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 said yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, said sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, said yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, said sit down, right there.
What's up, YouTube? We back with another video. Where we're at in 2, when abusive parents realize their life is over. This one's gonna be heavy. Let's get into it. Agent 12 video.
This man is being interrogated as he has just lost his son. He's about to spin an extremely elaborate story of what happened in his son's final days, but it turns out he was lying every step of the way.
This is the day after he jumped out the window. I'm traumatized every day.
According to him, his son made their home life a constant misery, but the truth was much more sinister.
We are going to be interviewing you in regards to the crime of a homicide.
Homicide, that's like premeditated.
Teachers at Dakota's McLean School had suspected there was abuse going on in his household for quite some time, at one point even calling child services, but nothing was ever done. Mr. McLean decided to take Dakota out of school to avoid any more visits from child services, a story we've all heard before, and one that only ends in a living hell for the child. It is believed this young child lived most of his life locked in the attic, naked and terrified. He was
Know how I feel about this. Beat him. A life sentence is cool. Life sentence is cute. Beat him. Beat him. Badly. Every day. Beat him.
Abused, beaten, and treated like trash by his father, but the worst was yet to come. In December 2019, McLean dragged his son down the stairs in anger and, according to witness reports, threatened to drown him. And these weren't empty threats either, as they were followed by the sound of splashing water. Dakota was of course too weak to fight and eventually died from a combination of blunt force trauma and water submersion in a bathtub. Quickly, McLean was brought in by police under the assumption they just wanted to figure out what happened, but when he realized the detectives were accusing him of Dakota's death, he started trying to talk himself out of a murder charge.
Homicide's kind of a catch-all for somebody that died more than likely not of natural causes. Make sense?
Yeah.
So it kind of covers a lot of things. It could be murder, it could be...
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't even know why my child is dead.
Your own actions? What the hell? Are you dumb? Is he dumb? He's dumb. Then you locked him up like he was a plaything.
You heard? I still don't know.
If your child's dead?
No, they just told me he did, but they didn't tell me what killed him or anything like that. You hear me?
Kind of what this opportunity is for is for you to tell us.
To discuss it with you, because right.
You were there, we weren't.
Right.
So this is once we go through your rights, this is your opportunity to kind of tell us what happened today.
Right away, McLean paints himself as an innocent party who tried to help his son when he was sick, and this would be the first in a long line of lies.
I want to know what's going on. I want to know what happened to my child.
We want you to tell us, because we weren't there, what happened today.
Well, this is what happened. I ain't slept in about 3 days, right? Kid keep falling down the stairs, keep knocking his head around. It looked.
Why do you keep calling him the kid? Like, you trying to disassociate yourself with your son. Like, the kid? This ain't no damn action figure.
Like something was wrong with his stomach last night that I noticed. And I gave him some water to throw up. You know what I mean? I had him drink like several cups of water because it looked very odd normal. And I know that he used to eat
abnormal
in his own shit. So I just wanted to make sure that he was okay.
Eating your own feces is far from normal and is almost definitely a sign of abuse in the home. The two most likely causes are that his father was forcing him to do this, or that Dakota was left so hungry he was left with no other choice. Notice he is also explaining he made him drink several glasses of water, which is a possible cover story for drowning him in the bathtub.
So he drank the water, that was it. And I guess he goes back upstairs acting out some more. I mean, jumping off the banister, shitting everywhere, pissing everywhere, the usual, might I add. I've been dealing with this for probably since he was 2 years old. He's been doing this. So I'm very tired. I ain't slept in 3 days, so I'm just sitting there. And here he come rolling down the stairs again, ba-doom, ba-doom. I tell him go back upstairs. A little while later, I go up there. I see a stick in his ass, like a chair leg. So I asked him, what is he doing? And he's just steady, you know what I mean? Just steady doing what he do. This ain't the first time he tried something like that.
It appears that McLean could be trying to cover up other abuse here, as
I'm about to say, what? Oh, they're going to examine the body, so all of the things that he's done to the body are going to come out to light. So he's trying to lie now. But I was like, what?
police would also find evidence of sexual abuse. By inventing this story,
Oh my God. He needs to be beat. Very, 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 very badly. To the point of no return. Then be resuscitated. And then beat again.
McLean could be trying to blame Dakota for injuries inflicted by himself.
I see blood on the ground, and I asked him to pull it out. You know what I mean? Blood squirted immediately. Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, hurry up. You need to get downstairs so I can get you in the shower.
Get downstairs so he can get you in the shower. If he stuck a stick up his rectum, he needs to go to a hospital. Also, when he was throwing up the water, he's a young kid. You should probably have taken him to a hospital. None of these things are adding up.
You know what I mean? And see what's going on. So at the time, I didn't think nothing of it. I just see that he bruised up as usual. Seeing he always, he never stopped. He would find any way, any type of way, anything to use just to put a bruise on his body.
This is the worst. I'm talking about this is the weakest cover story ever. It's horrible.
So as a parent, I just put him in the shower. I put him in the bathtub. They try to, get some of the swelling to go down or...
What in the hell is a bathtub gonna do with the swelling? You should take him to the hospital.
Or whatever the situation may have been, clean him up, make sure he was good. So I'm sitting on the couch. He like, Dad, come here. No, he like, Dad, help. So I come up the stairs to help him. And that's when I noticed his body was cold, very, very, very cold. So I took him downstairs and tried to rinse him off, to see if he'd shake out of it, wake up. I had no clue of knowing that he was sick.
So you telling me your child asked for help twice? This isn't your supposed wackadoo story, because the story is crazy. Your child asked for help, and then moments later, his body was just cold, so he just instantly passed away. Okay, I guess.
To that extent, I just figured he was doing his normal acting out. He was kind of tweaking a little bit, you know what I mean? But yeah, as far as just like this. This is my way of describing it, just like this. But this.
He's not describing tweaking correctly. Proceed.
This is something that he done pulled for many years. All the time. Damn near every day. Anytime he don't want to have his way, this is what he's pulling. Can't get him to eat his breakfast. He don't want to eat his breakfast. All he want to do is eat his feces. So I'm like, all right, at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, bruh, there's no way you want me to believe that a child is willingly wanting to eat his own feces. That's insane.
There's nothing I can do but let him sit there and lay down. Like I said, he said, Dad, help. And I came up the stairs. That's why I'm shocked as fuck right now. I'm not even crying or nothing. I'm just like in shock. Like, my child really did have is what I don't understand. Now, I know them girls didn't do nothing to him to kill him. I just don't understand it.
The girls McLean is describing are his girlfriend, Jennifer, and her sister, Amanda. Neither girl was directly involved in Dakota's death, but as the abuse had been going on for years, it seems unlikely that either were completely blind to what was happening, especially considering the injuries that were later discovered.
First of all, he had marks all over his body.
It's every day. Now, sometime I had to spank his behind just to prevent him from hurting himself. This boy jumped out the window before. Just straight out the window.
He was trying to escape.
There is no stopping him. I'm afraid. I've been telling people I was afraid, but at the same time, there was nothing I can do. And I mean, I can understand the fact that he had marks all over his body. You'd be surprised just to sit there and watch him do it. Or just to see there and you could just be like, stop, or no, or don't, and he's gonna whack, he's gonna bam, he's gonna jump, he's gonna flip, he's gonna kick. We had stairs he was letting up. He would kick him like that, you know what I mean? And
if your kid had that much energy, you should have put him in something so he could use his energy to benefit himself. Like beating him and he's already harming himself. What would that do? What would that do? I mean, you're lying, but
kick him all kind of ways in the corner.
So he lived upstairs.
At times,
What do you mean at times?
well, at first he was living downstairs, but the smell got too strong. Not only that, my little brother, I just got custody of him probably like 2 years ago. I've been taking care of my little brother. Okay, so he been living with us. Do y'all have my little brother? Okay, good. I'll just make sure he all right. Okay, so yeah, my little brother started living with us, right?
I feel sorry for your little brother.
And Devon want to get aggressive with him and, you know what I mean, try to take his clothes off in front of him and stuff like that. So, I mean, I had to protect him. I had to just send Dakota upstairs. I mean, the living environment, it was fine. It wasn't, it was perfect, actually. When he went up there, it didn't stink. He had a bed, he had clothes, he had everything he wanted. But this is the point that I'm trying to make as a parent. This how far this shit go. Like, I can't get a boy a blanket. Because if I give him a blanket, now he has marks all over his body from him pissing on himself at right.
Yeah, no, that's no child bruises that. Like he said, the kid pisses on himself, right? So the kid pees on himself, wraps himself in his own blanket, and he gets marks over his body because of that. How does that make sense?
Around his own blanket. You know what I mean?
What?
If he did that continuously, there'd be rashes and...
Now the rashes make sense, but maybe. Yeah, maybe, but...
You know, that's unsanitary.
McLean then goes on to say Dakota had once jumped through a window and was a child that had caused a lot of problems in the home. This would give him the excuse as to why he needed to explain why his son had so many injuries on his body, but this behavior was never witnessed by anyone, including Dakota's teachers, before he was pulled out of school.
But every time I go up there, there's mountains of urine and mountains of feces all around.
Obviously, you know, urine can't mountain up. Like it doesn't mount. So, therefore, it cannot be a mountain.
Around the room, the walls, everywhere. And I mean, I've told social services about how he used to crack himself and hurt himself and all that. But, I mean, they said when he turned 12 years old, I could have looked into getting him into this one program or one facility. He would have turned 11 3 days from now. And like I said, ma'am, I am shocked right now at this point that he died. Never seen it coming.
The autopsy
You drowned him.
later revealed that Dakota had been stamped on, punched, and beaten so severely the injuries were similar to those you would suffer in a car crash. Continuing his lies, he now decides to try and explain other injuries they found.
I seen him flip the table. I mean, he got the table flipped
That little baby did not deserve this. None of this. This is sad.
over, sticking his butthole on the table. If you flip this thing upside down and knock this back off, that's just straight ride out. But that's the kind of stuff he was into. I ain't never sexually harassed my child or do nothing like that. That's homophobic. And I mean, that's homo, and I ain't far from gay, you know what I mean? I ain't never played with they private parts. You see my little brother, correct? Healthy as an ox. We give him the same treatment. One just chooses to eat his food, and the other one chooses to eat his shit. And I mean, he got fed 3-4 times a day, so I'm dealing with that. On top of the fact that now we ain't got no health insurance, because he done got in trouble so damn much to the point where I can't leave the house for 2 minutes, or not 1 minute, without worrying about, is he killing himself, hurting himself, doing what he doing? I really don't know why my child is dead right now. I still don't know. And that's what I would like to know, please.
And then the detectives hear an alarming confession.
Did you ever take him to the doctor?
No.
Yeah, he's been to the doctor.
He has?
Yeah.
What's the doctor?
It's been so long, I don't even know.
Bro, you're just capping.
I just know it was probably like when my health insurance ran out. Probably close to
3 years ago. God damn. Is that close to when you pulled him out of school?
3 years ago.
So the kid hasn't seen a doctor in 3 years?
Yeah, but he been to the hospital in less than that.
When
So
was he
he
at the hospital?
probably like a year ago when he jumped out the window.
Dayton Children's?
Yeah, he always been very healthy.
Okay. Who was his PCP? His primary caregiver?
I didn't have no primary.
Care physician?
No, I didn't have one.
Where did you take him to the doctor?
I only took him to the hospital. And I only took him to the doctor when he needed it. And it won't, nothing wrong with him.
A child never being taken to a doctor can also indicate abuse in the home. This is because regular visits to the doctor help to monitor a child's welfare over a period of time. Simply taking him to the hospital when he's ill doesn't give medical professionals that chance. All McLean is doing here is giving the detective more of his story that might be contradicted by the evidence they find.
So at 6 a.m. this morning?
6 a.m. this morning. Alright, so I see him doing that. I paid no mind. I'm like, I didn't think he was hurting himself at all. So I'm like, what is he finna do?
You didn't think he was hurting himself?
Not at the time.
Okay.
I'm thinking in my head, like, what could he possibly be doing with that? Okay. I get up around, say about 8 o'clock, go get him his breakfast and stuff like that. So I go up there, and he laying on his tarp, and he got it in his butt. I'm like, what the hell do you think you doing? I say, pull it out right now. He wants to get the wrestling, and you know what I mean? Either way.
I don't know what you mean because I don't live in your house, so.
Well, he want to get wrestling and aggressive. Like, he don't want me to take it out of him, and he don't want me to have it, period. So, I grab it out. Blood squirt. Yup. And it started dripping. So, put him in the shower. I put him in the bathtub, and I tried to clean it up and look at it to see if it was, worth me taking him to the ER right away. But to the
Seeing as how he was bleeding and it was squirting, most likely.
I'm not a doctor. It didn't look that bad. So I'm just thinking.
What did you see?
Just like his butt, a hole with a little blood. Because I checked it out afterwards. I'm like, whoa, let me see. And she then did. And it was a little swollen.
McLean's long list of injuries Dakota had inflicted on himself is just a way of trying to explain those injuries that were found on his body. What he doesn't realize is that they were not self-inflicted, according to the boy's autopsy.
And here's the thing, as a parent, I'm afraid, I was concerned, like, damn, if I take him anywhere, they're going to be looking at me like I did this. You know what I mean? So at the same time, I was trying to just get him together so where he didn't have any bruises, and then I can take him somewhere and see about possibly more therapy or something like that.
So he needed some sort of treatment.
Giving lots of details during an interrogation can often be a sign of someone that is lying or trying to hide something. As far as McLean is concerned, he's done everything for his son to control his behavior and has tried to help him in any way he can. His story isn't winning over the detectives though, as McLean's girlfriend was also in the house and her version of events doesn't match his.
Yeah, when he asked me for help, he stood up like this. He was laying down and he pushed up like this, like, "Dad, help."
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, let me go see what's wrong with him.
What did he use to push up with?
His bed.
His bed?
Yep. So he pushed up and he was like, help. So I go up there to help him out, and he got some stuff coming out of his mouth. You know what I mean? On my head, I'm thinking it's shit all automatically.
Okay.
But because the night before, like I said, I just noticed how big his belly was, and I gave him some water so he can throw it up. You know, if he had anything bad in him. A couple cups of water.
Okay.
I gave about 6-7 cups. You know, trying to force him to throw it up. Is there anything bad in there? I don't know if he swallowed his fork or what he did. So I'm like,
swallowed his fork?
Yeah, that he was outrageous.
Okay.
Or what he would have done, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, get you out, you see him 1 minute, next minute you see him got a belly way out here. You like, so what I do immediately, I try to get him some water, flush it out.
We're back to where he's calling for help, and he's used his bed to push himself up.
Yep.
Okay. And what happens next?
So I ran up there and grabbed him, rinsed him off.
Did he walk down the steps? Did you carry him?
Kinda, sorta.
Tell me how you guys came down the steps.
I'm holding him like this.
Is he in front of you, behind you, or next to you?
He in front and on the side, like a little bit, because the stairs is narrow.
Okay. So
Okay.
where are your arms?
My arm's right here. This is where he at, right
I
here.
get that, but are you under him or on top of him or how are you?
Under him.
So you're under his arms?
Yep, trying to hold him up.
Okay.
Yep,
And he's walking?
slightly, not much.
So are you
I'm basically doing all the work.
Are you dragging his feet along? Or you got him up off the steps? What are you?
Yeah, I drag him a little bit.
This
Damn, lot 12 was crazy.
is not the story Jennifer gave the detectives. She says she never heard Dakota call for help, and all McLean is doing is digging a deeper hole for himself that he's going to find it very difficult to get out of.
I try to cooperate with him and everything. Am I the only one being charged here?
I don't think anybody's been charged yet.
Okay, I'm just asking. I
Okay.
don't know what's going on, you hear me?
Yep. Then the medics take him away and that's the last thing you know.
And I'm in jail.
I'm sorry?
I said, yes ma'am, then I'm in jail.
You've been to jail?
This is jail. I mean, I was in that back room back there.
Right, but you've not been to jail.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So I'm sitting back there. The whole time I'm just thinking my son gonna be all right, because I mean they put him in the back of the ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking he's gonna be all right. And I ain't gonna lie, this is another thing I want to say. When I went to give him CPR
Mm-hmm.
and I was taking it, whatever it was, out his mouth, it smelled so rotten, so awful.
Did you give him the breath? Like over his mouth? Were you giving him his breath?
His breath.
His breath, like when you do
Do CPR.
Yeah.
CPR, you're supposed to breathe into their mouth?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was giving him his breath, and I gave him 12 pumps on the chest and gave him some more. Like I said, I had him back when the ambulance got there.
Asking if he or anyone else has been charged might seem like an innocent question, but he could be implying that others are to blame rather than or as well as himself. But his girlfriend and her sister went on to tell police of the abuse that McLean had been putting his son through, and their descriptions matched many of the injuries on the boy's body. McLean punched and elbowed Dakota before making him stand in an uncomfortable position as punishment and just left him there for a couple of hours. McLean then abused him some more before dragging him down the stairs by his ears and throwing him in the bathtub, ultimately killing him. Despite his lengthy story, he later pleaded guilty to murdering and abusing his son and was sentenced to 5 years to life in prison.
What do you mean 5 years to life? No, it should just be life to life. Like it should be no in between. Life to life. He double up on the life.
There was no denying the guilt of these next abusive parents, where detectives try to understand how a mother can let her own baby starve to
But we just gonna skip. I done seen this 3 times already. I'm gonna skip past it.
death.
You thought she was
Spamming the same 3.
20 That's what they're doing. Trying to drive a wedge. Because they don't. They can tell by looking at me. Yeah. They're gonna do shit. So they're making a breakdown of cute. Me is who they're looking for. Because they're
Being married to the doctor.
Okay, some of this is muted in the last video, so I'm gonna watch this part.
By this point, Seth has stopped comforting Tatiana and now appears to be contemplating his actions and what their fate might be.
so they can make me first. Because they don't. They can tell by looking at me. Yeah. They're gonna do shit. So they're making a breakdown of cute. Me is who they're looking for. Go home and
Life.
get really baked. I mean, I really like to not talk about it at all anymore today. Can't
Get
ever
home
do
and
this
get
again.
baked. Y'all not baking
We at
nothing.
least gotta take her. We gotta. There's
They
problems.
won't get the chance. With the overwhelming evidence against them that they had in fact slowly starved their daughter over a period of time, they were both found guilty and are facing life in prison without the possibility of parole. Starving your own child is a pretty sick and twisted thing to do, but these two are nothing compared to this next killer who could have wiped out his entire family if he wasn't stopped.
We just celebrated 4 years Tuesday. I went to the cemetery. Stuff down.
Or nothing compared to this next killer who could have wiped out his entire family if he wasn't stopped.
We just celebrated 4 years Tuesday. I went to the cemetery. Stuff down.
Who could have wiped out his entire family if he wasn't stopped.
Well, we heard the same thing.
We just celebrated 4 years Tuesday. I went to the cemetery. Stuff down.
When first responders arrived at a house in November of 2008, they came across what initially looked like an accident. 23-year-old Levi had been crushed after a truck fell off its jack in the garage. When medics paramedics arrived, they had no chance of resuscitating him as he had been dead for hours. But detectives later found out information that could prove this accident might actually be a murder, and their number one suspect is waiting for them in the interrogation room.
A lot of people think you did it for money.
Oh, I
don't
know.
believe
Oh,
that.
I know. I knew his
But why-
family.
What? Okay, your family thinks that too?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. We can prove it. We can prove it. You don't have to try to hide it anymore. What I think is what you're trying to do now is save your family from what you think is going to hurt them if you get wrapped up in this. I'm thinking that that's why you're telling these fibs. The person that I've studied for a year with Lieutenant here, this is totally out of character. I'm shocked. And it honestly makes me wonder if you did do this for the money.
No.
Because it looks that way.
Well,
you come in here and I'm thinking, we're like, this guy is going to do the right thing. He's going to come in here, he's going to tell the truth, he's going to tell us how he made a decision, he may regret it. When you come here and start telling lies, you know what, I just right in the back of my head is speaking up is, oh, you did do it for the money. Because you took out that policy.
He took out the policy.
Who paid the principal?
I paid the first one. Because
I don't even want to get into that because that's all factual and what that looks like, and I don't even want to say it because I don't believe it.
No,
but then you know what that is? You know what people who have a lot more experience than I do say when they look at that? Motive.
Carl was Levi's father, and even if he wasn't there at the time Levi was found, he was still the main suspect. It seems Carl has a history of tragic accidents surrounding him, and it all started 30 years earlier.
Oh yeah, I can't work with him.
It's New Year's Day, 1991, and as the fire department arrived at Carl's house, they found him trying to save his family from a fire. His wife, Christina, was still trapped inside the house, and sadly, she never made it out. Her autopsy revealed she had died from smoke inhalation. Carl's next move is a little confusing, as he packed up and left town before her funeral. At around the same time, he was cashing in her life insurance, which made Christina's family extremely suspicious. But they were powerless to do anything at the time, and within a year, he met his new wife, Cindy.
Oh hell nah, he's bugging. Like multiple insurance frauds claimed. Well, I mean, yeah, it's insurance fraud. I'm sorry, you're not supposed to be able to claim the insurance if you were involved in the person dying. Like what?
When his ex-wife's family found out about Levi, they contacted police and told them they thought Carl had killed his own son. They had no evidence, of course, so they had hoped police could persuade him to confess. But at every chance Carl gets, he makes himself the subject of the interrogation.
I want to do this. I went through his ashes with a freaking funnel and a filter, and I filled up their necklaces.
Oh, okay.
And I bawled like a baby the whole way through. Okay, there's chunks. There's bone chunks that don't get burned. And, excuse me, but you don't want to do that. I handle it well until I talk about it. I do. I've never gotten over it. You don't. We just celebrated 4 years Tuesday.
We just celebrated 4 years. It's crazy.
I went to the cemetery, spent a while there.
You acting like it was a birthday or a graduation or an anniversary. I mean, it technically is an anniversary, but celebrated is insane. I don't think that's the right word to use.
Took
Celebrate
pictures.
what?
I went to the cemetery to put
Stuff I said you celebrate.
Oh no.
But
He did though.
he did just say he celebrated the 4-year anniversary of the death of his son. It's not a
Insane.
word that you could easily confuse in such a sensitive conversation. What makes it worse is that the life insurance policy was set up only 2 weeks before Levi died, and it was Carl who convinced his son to do it.
All right, it's crunch time. You're gonna tell me the truth now, or I swear to God, this is over. Like I said, and you're not gonna like the way it ends. You got it. This is it. Last chance.
I can't tell you something I didn't do, sir.
All right.
That's what you're gonna stick to. Yes, sir. Bad idea.
Can't tell you something I didn't do.
Sure you can. You did already. You told me stuff that wasn't true.
Well, I think I was scared then. Scared.
I think you're scared now. You know, I'll walk down the road with you. I will. I'll walk down the road. I'll stand by you on this if you are honest about it. Because everybody else that's working this case is pretty much giving up on
Yeah,
it.
but look what happens to me. I'm gonna go to jail
I don't know what's gonna happen to you yet.
for something I didn't do.
Again, Carl simply brings it around to himself by trying to make the detective feel sorry for it.
Like, bro, your son lost his life. Shouldn't you want to know who did it? Oh, wait, you did it. My bad.
You're very close, Carl.
I didn't do it.
I think part of you did. Maybe
Boy, did you just get that man a
Yeah.
hug?
And Carl simply brings it around to himself by trying to make the detective feel sorry for him.
You're very close, Carl.
I didn't do it.
I think
Did you get that man a hug? Sir. He took his son out the game.
part of you did. Maybe not all of it.
No way, I didn't, there was nothing.
Man, you can do it.
Just an accident. I put up the door and stepped in. I got a cramp in my back.
Wait, right here?
No. Oh. I started getting muscle spasms bad.
Okay, well, I got somebody working on it. I got somebody working on getting that for you. Let's finish. We're almost done.
What Carl doesn't know is that his current wife, Cindy, has already spoken to police. She had no idea about Levi's life insurance policy until after his death. But what made her really worried was that he had secretly taken a policy out on her
Oh, he was gonna burn the crib down again.
too. Carl had started by claiming that a truck fell on Levi by accident, but now he was telling a different story altogether.
So you open the car door?
I opened the truck door because I had to get inside to move the linkage for the truck. And when I did, it just fell over.
Now the detectives have him right where they want him. He's admitted that he caused the truck to fall and is responsible for his son's death. They can arrest him right there and then if they like, but what they really want is the full confession. It's clear by Carl's body language that he's
Yeah, like what about your ex-wife?
close to crumbling completely.
You're almost there, my friend.
Thank you. I can walk this. I had nothing to do with any of the other things. I don't give a shit how bad it looks.
I still got the same problem, Carl, that you just walked away and left in there.
I know.
I think you're almost
That's it.
there.
I mean, I walked away. I did that. I don't know if it was the drugs that made me just go and just not register. I don't know.
Pull him out right away?
When I got home, and it was like, it all become real. It's like putting a face. You know, you see a dead body or something that's okay, but you see the face, it becomes real. Little revelation.
Nigga, that's your son. What?
Can I talk to you?
Talk to me. What's the revelation?
When I went in the garage, I didn't find Levi dead.
After telling the second detective the same story, there's only one way out of this interrogation for him, and that's in handcuffs.
I'm going to go out and get a statement. Well, I'm still the fact that I can finish taking a statement. I'm not going to call you a liar. I'm going to tell you that you're as untruthful as any person I've ever met.
You just called him a liar, sugarcoatedly.
And attempt to be more manipulative. And to do what you did to your son and try to tell us three different versions of it without still telling us the truth shows me who you really are.
Well, come with me. You're under arrest. I think you knew that was coming.
Carl would later plead guilty to the second-degree murder of his son, Levi, and was sentenced to 15 years, but his problems were not over yet. It later turned out that there was evidence that his first wife, Christina, had been covered in flammable liquid before the fire that killed her had started. The investigation into her death was reopened in 2020, and he was sentenced to life in prison.
What? Hey. Yo. He going to hell with gasoline drawers on. You telling me you doused her in flammable substance and it said, yep, it's up. Flames. Bro, there's no way, bro.
For second-degree murder, giving Christina's family justice over 30 years after her death.
Oh, he deserved life. But with that being said, this is the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.
To live is to conquer. To live in life. To live in life. Hey. To live is to live is hey. Like I just want to conquer. Like I just want to. To live is to conquer. Hey. How this pain got me feeling accomplished? Games turn me to a monster. Hey. My cow mode can't stop me. To live is to conquer. Hey.